clear political message right here.
Hate speech isn't free speech! Fuck hate speech!
You have to put your idea in the marketplace of ideas, and it has to be discussed and debated.
It's not just the right of the person who speaks to be heard. It is the right of everyone in the audience to listen and to hear. And every time you silence somebody, you make yourself a prisoner of your own action because you deny yourself the right to hear something.
The moment somebody says, yes, I believe in free speech, but I stop listening. I believe in free speech, but people should behave themselves. I believe in free speech, but we shouldn't upset anybody. I believe in free speech, but let's not go too far. The point about it is the moment you limit free speech, it's not free speech.
Well, you can't say anything about anything important ever without offending probably the person you're talking to. Important speech about important issues, especially contentious issues, is instantly offensive.
So for us in the West, in the United States of America and Europe, our soul, the fundamentals of who we are, is about free speech.
Without freedom of speech, we are dead. We can't live in a country without freedom of speech. I prefer to die than live like a rat. I don't know. I haven't the time to be afraid.
Papers spilled everywhere, splashed with the blood of the dead and the injured. The killings, along with chilling images caught on video of two masked gunmen firing assault rifles on a quiet Paris street, have traumatized this country.
We should be able to say what we want without fear of government reprisal. Well, unless we make a YouTube video about the life of Muhammad. Then...
The future must not belong to those who slander the Prophet of Islam.
And it didn't. The guy who made that video ended up in jail. And the people at Charlie Hebdo ended up dead. So everything worked out just like the president said it should.
So again, I appeal to America to realize that free speech, free inquiry is at the heart of any democracy. We must allow every unsavory notion to be fully aired, fully investigated.
We try to personify this side of the argument and this side, and then we take a little funny way out. Right. I'm not interested in sitting around and agreeing with people. Right. And where we live is like the liberal part of the world. And not because
there's a group think.
There's a group think, and you only get to some new truth by argument and by dissent, and it's like some of it is just, we just play devil's advocate all the time.
There's all those cases that we don't hear about, or that aren't campaigned for. Not famous journalists or politicians who already have literal soapboxes, but the people who don't, and who don't have people standing up for them, who just nick across one of the tripwires of our time and find their lives turned upside down with no one taking much of an interest in them.
The Bill of Rights was the big thing. Freedom of speech. Because nobody had freedom of speech in the world. No, you can boo the president. Boo! Nobody says anything. You could never boo the king. Nobody booed the king. The king's coming by, boo. 6 archers be like, I got him, don't worry, I got the son of a bitch. This guy's suicidal.
And so our only weapon and our only defense is to really defend freedom of speech, freedom of expression, our freedoms. So when they come around saying Islamophobia legislates against free speech, we are not to fall for that.
It's not like there's no hate speech. Like anyone with any sense knows that there's hate speech. Who's going to regulate it? Who's going to define it? And I know the answer to that. The last people in the world you would want to. And then we cross another barrier and we allow the government to compel speech for some hypothetically compassionate reason? No way.
Bear in mind, ladies and gentlemen, that every time you violate or propose to violate the free speech of someone else, you, in potentia, you're making a rod for your own back.